Good evening, everybody. It's meteorologist Erica Martin with Weather Co-op, where weather meets community. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. There is so much weather going on across the entire globe. Of course, we're going to focus on what's happening here across the nation. So the contiguous U.S., as you know that, or the lower 48s. So let me go ahead and adjust this map for you guys just a bit because there is a lot to talk about. There is a major scoop in the weather department, guys, and of course that is the polar vortex. Let's kick things off with the polar vortex, and I'm very excited to share everything we have going on here, and of course I'm very excited to keep you nice and safe. That is always my biggest goal anytime I'm doing weather updates. All right, guys. So I hope you're all having a wonderful evening. And let's get started on what's happening here. Very interesting, right? So you all know for the past several days, most folks around the nation have been focusing on the wildfires, rightfully so, and the air quality. But we've had to make some adjustments as far as where we were gonna focus our weather tools and weather capacities here at Weather Co-op, and we have been inching our way towards this big story that's happening across the nation. So the setup right now. Oh, that's Chloe. Hey, Chloe. Do you want to say hi? Can they see you? Chloe, say hi. Say hi, Chloe. Chloe's right here, just looking and definitely excited to participate. Do you want to say hi? Say hi. Can you guys see her tail? You can see her tail. Say hi. I think you all can just see a tail wagging around, right? That's little Chloe. Chloe, do you like the snow? Chloe loves the snow. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about this polar vortex. Wow, there is a big, massive Arctic air mass that's going to move on in and absolutely infiltrate the nation. Now, I do think that for the most part, most of the nation will feel the impact of this air mass, this Arctic air mass, but there are going to be some areas that I absolutely am more concerned about than others. And of course, that includes the Great Plains, Northern Great Plains, the Ohio Valley, the Mississippi River Valley, especially the Northern Mississippi River Valley, the Adirondacks, the Berkshires. So pretty much, I'd say north of maybe Texas, although Texas is also going to get a good amount of cold air too. So the polar vortex is a large area of cold air aloft that typically spins above the poles. So in and of itself, the polar air mass is a very interesting area of low pressure. It disrupts the polar jet stream. What it does, it just starts to really buckle, if you will, the upper levels of the atmosphere. I've told you guys often that this time of the year, I look at the 300 millibar chart. I like to split the difference here at Weather Co-op because we have the capacity, we have the tools to go to 250 millibars. But when you're thinking of the jet stream, when you're thinking of the polar jet stream, you're up there, really at 300 millibars, but that's where you are. That's where you got to look for that cold air. So this causes the Arctic air to move southward. Now, I think a very fun product to look at would be the Köppen climate classification chart. I'm going to drop that right now in the chats. I think you guys are going to love reading more about the Köppen climate classification chart. It pretty much gives you the type of air mass that you might be in, right? So things like an Arctic air mass, the like the polar air mass, for example, or even if you think about the continental climates or the temperate climates or the desert and semi-arid climates as well, the tropical climates. This is all available if you look at the Köppen climate classification chart. I promise you guys, it is so fun, and I really think it's something that everybody should read about. But anyways, as we move our polar vortex map here, you can see here that we've got that cold air. I mean, it's beyond cold, it's frigid. The strong jet stream is what we're looking for here. The large pressure differences keep the jet stream straighter and colder air trapped at the north. However, with the weaker jet stream, when it buckles, as I just said, it becomes wobblier, or it buckles, and it allows that colder air to plunge southward. Oftentimes you'll hear polar plunge or the Arctic plunge. Hey, Chloe, do you want to say hi to everybody? Can you guys see Chloe? There she is. Right there she is right there. Say hi. I'm doing a weather update. You don't care? Okay, she doesn't care. All right, so we have the weaker jet stream, and as it weakens, it allows the colder air to plunge southward. And so this is why you're seeing these alerts already established and issued by the National Weather Service. Now, I've got this set to 72 hours out, but please be advised, this is a dangerous situation. Once again, I'm going to go back to this graphic right here so you can see exactly what that setup is. This is going to be a very cold start to a cold stretch for many across the nation. Here is your polar vortex. What we look for in the upper levels of the atmosphere, the jet stream, we're looking for that colder air to pretty much make the jet stream buckle, and it weakens it, and then it dips farther south. It definitely dips outside of where it should be. Like, nobody wants to see. No offense to the Arctic air mass, and no offense to the polar vortex. We like you staying at the poles because it's just not my kind of weather, and many of you I know feel the same way. So once again, here we go. We're looking at our Arctic air masses. Now, I don't think you guys have seen this in quite some time. Your extreme cold warning. Wow. So cold weather advisories remain in effect from 9 p.m. this evening until 6 p.m. Saturday. Yeah, Chloe, come on. We have cold weather advisories, very cold wind chill values as low as 40 below zero. The feels like conditions, which means when we take the actual temperature and we take the wind profile and we do some fancy math, we come up with those feels like temperatures. So it's going to feel like, for some, as cold as 40 below zero. Okay. We also have cold weather advisories. Now, I don't think anybody's really just mincing words here or mincing conditions. Extreme cold warning, we get it, but we also understand a cold weather advisory. So this is in effect starting midnight Saturday night through noon Tuesday. So this is going to be for the very cold wind chill values, as cold as 25 degrees below zero. That's the feels like temperatures once again. And dangerously cold wind chills can, be life-threatening. Let's just face it. Apart from that, goes without saying, at this point, we're looking at crops, sensitive plants, pretty much all life, right? Pets, anything that has life. Like, what I don't want to see right now, hold on, let me go to my followers. Yes, guys, hi. What I don't want to see right now, and if you guys get these images, please send them to me. I don't want to see dogs tied up outside, okay? I don't want to see animals tied up outside, left outside in these conditions, all right? You can give me a ring and maybe we'll go out there and put the owners out there, because I just think that this is ridiculous. If I see one more photo with the wildfires and people leaving their animals tied up, why don't we switch that around, all right? Outside, why don't we switch it around? This is not the time to start leaving your pets outdoors, all right? Okay. You guys know how I feel about animals. All right, current temperatures. Yikes. We saw this earlier. Bismarck, you're still in that teen. Thermopolis, you've got that precip. Seeing lots of 30s across the nation, up and down the eastern seaboard, including some 40s. Miami. Who wouldn't want to be in Miami, especially if you're in Bismarck? Head down to Miami. Or, yeah, we've got 70 for you. We've got Jacksonville at 51, Dallas 58, 65 for Houston, Odessa, Alpine, Styles in the 50s and 60s, Amarillo, upper 40s. We've got teens for whom else? Billings, Boise 36, San Francisco 52, Los Angeles 56, and San Diego 57. And are we going to go back to our air quality map? We will, but this is not going to be the time. We're going to talk about this cold air, this polar plunge, this Arctic blast We're going to talk about that, and then we will go back to our air quality maps. Very, very dangerous conditions. So here is our hour by hour forecast. First, we're going to start with one that has the precip on there. I always share this one with you guys. It's one of my favorite products here at Weather Co-op. We're going to push this through. We're using the ECMWF, right, at 9 kilometers, so it's a decent resolution, a good resolution. Would I like a 3 kilometer? Sure, but we've got our 9 kilometer right now set up. I just think this is the most accurate depiction. We're going to show you that colder air by way of the winds, and then we're going to show you that precip. Here we go. It's going to run through Saturday into Sunday. Look at that. Monday. All right, so let's go back, and then we're going to talk about what we're seeing here. So we have a short wave that will trigger precip. We also have a bit of a push of that precip. See that storm system right there? That's going to allow that precip to change over. Do you see as we head down to the Four Corners, you're getting that pink there? Is that sleet? Is that a wintry mix? We'll have to observe that in real time, simply because there's enough cold air at the surface that I question whether it's going to be a mix, or is that just giving us some kind of a sleet and perhaps there'll be some colder air at the surface we'd have to think about. Get this. I'm actually going to toggle this over. Okay. Do you see this system here that's going to develop? Hey, Chloe. Chloe, once again, I think she's ready. You can tell she's at the door. She's ready to go. Okay, give me a few minutes. A few more minutes? Can Mama have a few minutes? Let Mama have a few minutes. We have to save people's lives, Chloe. So that one thing that Chloe does love, she loves to save people's lives. Come on. Come to Mama. She wants to get going. But Chloe, you do love saving people when it's cold outside. You are a storm dog. All right, so she is a storm dog. So anyhow, we're going to go ahead and track this system that's going to eject out of it looks like the Tennessee Valley, and it's going to continue to move northeastward. And you see there's a clear delineation between who's getting the rain and then who's getting that wintry type precip. Here is the caveat. Oftentimes, we'll say something like, oh, you're going to get rain, but you got to be really mindful, because what we're looking for is what kind of air is there at the surface. We talk about that PBL, or the planetary boundary layer, all right? So that's going to be a really great item for us to look at. And here, I took off the precip. I still left the wind, but what I did was I added a temperature contour so you guys can see, oh my gosh, look at all of that blue, right? Moving in, denoting, of course, that colder air. So let's get this started. Oy, look at that. We're getting into the whites there, which means this is just Arctic, really cold, unforgivable air. Let's toggle this back to the beginning. And here we go, starting this at 7 p.m. Remember, now we have this set to CST. You guys, look at this through tomorrow, right? Saturday night, Sunday morning. Oh my gosh, that Arctic air goes all the way down to New Mexico. Heck, the Four Corners, through the Intermountain West, through the Great Basin, through the Rockies, through the Central Plains. And this is just by Sunday morning. Are you all seeing this? This is so dangerous. Okay, and then we're going to talk about those weather alerts one more time. We keep moving this through and all the way down through Appalachia, okay, into the Carolinas, the Tennessee Valley through Monday. So as I said to you guys, I see this colder air moving in by tomorrow for the most part, right, generally speaking. But it's really going to ramp up by Sunday into Monday and Tuesday. And wait till you see these wind chill values. They are so scary, okay? Here we go, all right? So I'm going to show you what we can expect over the next couple of days. So I wanted to just give you a quick and dirty look at the overall wind chill value that we can expect. Let's get this going and let's see what happens. We have Minot at 6 below and a lot more that we've got to show. Wow. Worland at 1 below. Fargo at 11 below. Minot once again at 20 below. And this is through Saturday. Let's go ahead and fast forward this through Saturday night. Fargo, 30 below zero. That is your wind chill value or your feels like temperature. Green Bay, 9 below. Glasgow, 22 below. And Minot, hovering around that 40 mark. So, what did that extreme cold alert tell us? It said that we were going to be hovering at that 40 below wind chill value. All right. Detroit 12, your actual feels like temperature. Chicago 3, and Des Moines 1 below. North Platte 0, along with Denver and Kansas City 8. But wait, it gets colder. All right, because remember, now we're just starting to see that white peak on in, denoting that, well, guys, we've got that colder air moving in. Okay. We've got Green Bay at 15 below, Chicago at 7 below, Minneapolis at 20 below. This is Sunday afternoon. Des Moines at 5 below, Sioux Falls at 10 below, and I'll pick Kansas City at 0. Okay? Sunday evening, really close. Sunday evening, really. Afternoon, evening. We have Duluth at 29 below, Minneapolis at 19 below with those feels like temperatures, Sioux Falls at 10 below. We have Chicago at 13 below, Indianapolis at 9 below, Detroit, your feels like temperature is 2 below, St. Louis, Missouri is 1 below, Evansville 1 below, Rapid City, feels like temperatures 14 below zero. And once again, when we're talking about that feels like temperature, it is the wind chill value, which includes the actual temperature and the wind profile. All right. And once again, we do some handy dandy math that we don't feel like doing right now. And that's where you get that wind chill value. So, with that said, I want to share with you all the signs of hypothermia that you should forward to your family and friends, and so that everybody can know what the signs are. We've got confusion, shivering, difficulty speaking, sleepiness, and stiff muscles. I'm going to tell you something that I think I can tell you guys, whatever. You guys know. You guys, especially those of you who have followed me since Reno, Nevada. I remember when I first went to Reno, I had one of the meteorologists, Brandon Woolley. Oh my gosh, shout out Brandon Woolley. He's so awesome. He was telling me that when people come there for the winter, outdoor activities, they don't keep in mind that, like, if in the Sierra Nevadas, that those are the signs. And now I know a lot of people, you might think that they would know, but they don't. You want to know what the signs are of hypothermia, because as we start to battle it out with old man winter, and he always wins, we want to make sure that we're prepared and we have the right tools and the right knowledge for these situations. So I want you to perhaps keep a log of where your local warming stations or heating stations are. You also want to make sure that you have your plans A through Z, just in case power goes out, or if a generator goes down, or if you don't have heat. You want to be prepared for these. I'm telling you, this is a very bad situation, okay? And once again, we have our hour by hour forecast. Here we're going to start at Friday, 7 p.m., as I just told you. That's going to be moving through the next several hours, and there it is. I'm going to go back and skip around just a touch because I want to show you our conditions right now with our weather alerts. I always love showing you what's happening higher up in the atmosphere, because you got to understand that the weather, as I always tell you, works in the vertical, and you got to understand that that air makes it down here, right? So as we look at our European ECMWF, you can see that we've got that amplified meridional flow. I'm going to go a little bit higher and it'll make more sense. Do you see how it's kind of just doing this? Looks like a little roller coaster in the sky, if you will. Well, that's allowing for that colder air to move in. We're going to go to 250. See that? And it makes sense. Do you see where that colder air And I'm not sure why that's actually red. It should be blue, but that's fine. That could just be a color that I accidentally chose, right? So, do you see here that we have this amplification of this meridional flow as the polar jet buckles, right? That's what we said. We said that the polar jet was going to buckle, and that would allow for that colder air to come in. So here we're seeing the allowance of that air, and I'm at 250 millibars. So let's go back to the surface. I'm going to remove our wind. I'm going to go to our watches. I'm actually going to remove our satellite for now too, and I'm going to remove our radar, even though there's some precip there. Let's go to our watches and warnings quickly and give you guys a little taste of, whoa, what's happening across the nation. Once again, extreme cold warning, cold weather advisory, winter weather advisory, extreme cold watch. Here's that pink one. See that little pink one there? I'm trying to get that. That should be a winter storm warning. Oh, let's just take these out. Okay, hang tight. Here it is. See that? See that? Winter storm warning. Wow, this little guy does not want to populate. Oh, he's going to populate. So if you have winter storm warning, and then let's zoom in. There you go. All right, Wyoming was just like, no, we're not going to experience a winter storm warning. Yar, there is going to be an area in Wyoming that will experience a winter storm warning, and that's in effect 8 a.m. Mountain Standard Time on Saturday. That's when it's in effect now through tomorrow morning. And this is, the concern here is the Lander foothills. And of course, it's going to include things like lots of snow, visibility that's impaired, making sure that you're aware of the blowing snow, making sure you have your chains, right, on your tires. So good old Wyoming, this is about that time of the year, of course, so I'm sure many people there are prepared. We do have that extreme cold warning for many across the northern tier of the nation. I think this one is absolutely fascinating because I've only ever seen this around Alaska. I mean, of course the Great Lakes are going to get it. But, you know, over the past couple of months, I've been seeing the freezing spray warning for Alaska because we always show you Alaska here as well. But you can see that the gale warning remains in effect until 1 p.m. and our heavy freezing spray warning remains in effect from 1 a.m. EST, midnight CST, Saturday 1 p.m. EST, until Saturday and noon Sunday. All right, so for the gale warning, we've got the northwest winds, but let's talk about this. For the freezing spray warning, operating a vessel in heavy freezing spray is hazardous. Freezing spray may render mechanical and electronic components inoperative. Rapid ice accretion, oof, I love that, on decks, superstructures may result in a catastrophic loss of stability. Strong winds will cause hazardous waves, which could capsize or damage vessels and reduce visibility. First of all, anytime you see the word warning, doesn't matter. It could be like big hair warning. Big hair warning. Hey guys, a little extra hairspray. Why not? What big hair warning? All right, we got a big hair warning here. All right, big hair warning. Respray warning. So anytime you see the word warning, guys, this is not what you want to be a part of. So this is a very good idea that you do not want to be anywhere in this area. Now, I'm sure there are pros that are okay with it and maybe they can handle it. But listen, here at Weather Co-op, we've got to keep people safe. So I'm going to keep you guys up to date and in the know as far as all of these weather situations. All right, Chloe, I'm coming right now. Okay, probably got to get going soon because my dog is barking. Actually, she's just crying right now, which is not like Chloe. All right, Chloe, gonna going soon? Poor Chloe had asthma because of the air quality. We'll talk about that in one moment. High wind warning as well. We've got wind advisories. And then here we have our special weather statement, which has to do with the low wind chill values. More special weather statements as well. This has to do with the frigid conditions. And then here, winter storm watches as well. For my family in Connecticut, we do have that winter storm watch. So mom, make sure that you're paying attention. Anything else? I'm going to remove our winter storm watches. I'm going to pick up one of my contours here quickly, and I'm going to show you the near surface smoke once again. Let's see what this looks like. Okay. And one of the things that I tell you guys, there are always concerns as far as surface smoke goes. But we've had some unbearable situations here because, of course, the fires. And I showed you guys the organic carbon extinction, and I focused on the black carbon, and I used the GEOS 5 forecast, okay? It's a NASA research product. So you can see here we haven't improved over the past couple days. We're still dealing with terrible air quality. I've got to go. I am a dog mom first, and then I'm a meteorologist, but dog mom's calling me for sure. My dog is in need of a good walk. But once again, guys, I'm going to quickly show you this polar vortex, and you will see that the situation that we're going to be dealing with is, I would use the word dire, because we're dealing with such frigid conditions. There's your Arctic air mass, there's your polar plunge, your polar vortex, whatever you want to call it, that's what it is. Here we are. I'm going to layer our watches and warnings on top. I'm going to click off our warnings. I'm meteorologist Erica Martin with Weather Co-op, where weather meets community. Bye, guys.